you got to be careful with any men who are in these God complex jobs. Pilot, doctor, fireman. So, I actually, when I was on Tinder in LA, I was hooking up all the time with men who came through town. I never hooked up with anyone who lived in LA because I didn't want to get climatized, because the last time that happened, I almost died. So I only hooked up with men who were just there visiting. And so many of them were pilots. But the thing is, they're all staying out by the airport, and I lived in East LA, so I'm not driving an hour to hook up with anybody. And they're all too lazy to come out to me. I don't think I actually hooked up with any pilots. But one of them messaged me like a year later, and this is a French pilot, by the way, messaged me a year later out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, Melanie," and it was weird because he said this in English. So it doesn't make any sense now because French people don't usually speak English unless they have to. He asked me if I could babysit that night, and I was like, "What?" And I was like, I think you have the wrong person. This is the Melanie that you almost hooked up with in LA. Hope you and your wife find a babysitter." And he was like, "Oh shit." Like, he's like, "Sorry." So this dude was cheating on his wife. That's what I learned. Pilots, so many pilots, or honestly, men who travel for a living, most of them are cheating. They're gone all the time. And it's not that men who travel for a living have to cheat. It's that if they do not love themselves, and if they do not have any moral compass, and if they are not like disciplined, which so many men are not, they just use escapism at every corner or every opportunity, then they're going to use women as escapism too. And then if they have a God complex job like pilot that takes them out of town all the time, they probably have like another family too. And so this comment is attached to the video I did about the pilot, which we now know almost unalived an entire plane because he allegedly was on mushrooms. Like, even if this dude was not abusive or any of the things that a lot of men in these God complex jobs are, the fact that like they are not mentally checking on like they like risk losing their jobs if they get help for any problems. When men who are in those positions are a lot of times alcoholics or some sort of addicts, they have so much pressure and they literally have an entire plane held hostage to their mental health, right? Like those kinds of jobs, they need to be getting serious mental health checks, support, and all that stuff. But I will die on this hill that these nice guys and these hero guys, I don't trust them. It's not that they're all bad, but if there's anything that I have been coming to realize in the last several years, is that it's not that, like who's a bad guy or a good guy. It's like which men are working on themselves and which aren't. Men who are not working on themselves are probably doing some BS, like on a spectrum. They're either cheating on their wives, at the very minimum, they're exploiting the crap out of their wives with hobbies, just being gone all the time, weaponizing competence and all that crap. But some of them are literally just, like under patriarchy, men are not getting help with their mental health, and we are all paying a price. And then all these men are in these leadership roles, and like life-threatening leadership kind of roles. Doctors, all that stuff. And yet they are the very people that, because of toxic masculinity, aren't allowed, or they think are not allowed. They can, but a lot of them are just too proud to do it. Because of toxic masculinity, the way they've been conditioned, they're not allowed to ask for help. They're not allowed to like ever question themselves. They're not allowed to wonder if like maybe I'm sad. Maybe I have shame. Maybe I have emotions and not just a stoic, strong man. Provider and protector. Literally makes every woman he comes in contact with is just a nightmare to her. Or it just question themselves on any level. Like, I think the very baseline for men to heal is to be able to say, maybe I'm wrong. I know from my own healing, that was really the first step, is to be, maybe I'm wrong about like everything, and admitting that to myself. So many men are so stubborn and attached to domination and power that they will never question that stuff. And then they, are depressed for 6 years or whatever that dude said. And then they're like, I'm going to take some magic mushrooms before getting on a plane, and then almost unaliving 83 people. Like, seriously, I feel so much safer on a plane when a woman comes over the intercom. And then at the same time, or the first time I heard a woman pilot, I was like, oh man, they better not mess up or they'll never let us fly again. Anyway, I'm not saying that you can't date men who are doctors and all that stuff. But pay very close attention to how their image management stuff. Because a lot of these men are heroes in the outside world and soul-sucking, abusive vampires behind closed doors. And they get to live that double life because they're in these hero position jobs. No one will ever question them, and they will never believe you if you ever air their dirty laundry. Because they're a hero. No. Careful out there.